I am International Master John Bartholomew, and it is my great pleasure to welcome the World Champion Magnus Carlsen here to our impromptu chessable studio in Wijk, the Netherlands. Magnus has generously agreed to do a little filming with us on his rest day. So thank you for joining us, Magnus.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Having a good tournament so far, and
we'll see. It might be at the end, but
right.
Still a way to go.
A few rounds left, and we're going to practice a few endgames today. Magnus is going to take our basic test for 100 Endgames You Must Know by Grandmaster Jesus de la Villa, a video course that I just finished filming. And how do you feel about taking some basic theoretical endgames? You were saying before we went live here that you weren't sure about your theoretical endgame status.
I wasn't sure about my theoretical endgame status, and I know that this is probably the only book that my father's ever studied. And I think he could do at least some of them. So in that sense, I'm optimistic, but I don't know. Like if there are questions about the square, for instance, I never learned about the square.
Okay.
I mean, that's a true story. I never learned about the square.
Got it.
So, I mean, I understand it, but I couldn't exactly recount what the rule is. So
okay, so Henrik Carlsen may be in a better position to tell us about the rule of the square, for instance.
But then again, I'm better at chess, and I'm a bigger name, so that's why I'm here instead.
Okay,
unfortunately for all of those who want to learn.
All right, so let's get rolling with the test here. No time pressure, but I know you're a competitive guy. You're going to attempt to do them as quickly as you can. So whenever you're ready, sure, click Learn Next, and that'll get you started.
Okay. Is this a draw? Yeah, this looks like a draw to me. And knight to e3, and the knight is in time. There's always going to be a fork, and it's in the right circuit. I like that one.
So you know about those four squares that the knight should be in?
Yeah.
Or is it intuitive?
No, it's like intuitive that if the knight is around e3, g4, f1, those squares, h2, then. But I never thought about the fact that there were four squares. I sort of just knew it.
Got it.
Oh, black to move. Is it a draw? No, it's not. You go king g3. Oh, alternative. Yeah, king g3, knight d2, king g2 was what I was thinking, but king g2 wins as well. And king g3 and
very good. Winning. Okay, 2 for 2.
I didn't know that this endings were... So isn't this the Spassky exercise? Maybe it's not.
Game of Spassky's?
No, that was just like... no, it's not. This one is actually... This one is easy. But there's a famous exercise that Spassky had to solve as a kid, where it was similar, but I think then the king was further away. So the one that I think is interesting here is, let's say the white king was on b5, and you play queen e2. That's the interesting one.
Yes.
Then you have to go king a1 instead of queen... Sorry?
So it's prompting you to find an equivalent winning move. So yes, queen d2 would suffice.
Yeah, queen c3? This is confusing. Every single move is...
I think queen b3 will do it, yes.
I mean, I would never go queen b3. I would go queen d2 every single time.
Contact Mr. De La Villa.
Okay, queen a3 is winning as well. What does it want now? Queen c3?
Queen c3,
And now king b3? This was an unnecessary complicated solution, I think.
I agree with that.
Yeah. This was... No, but I once again, this line, right here. let's say black played king b2 and it was white to move queen e2, then king b1 loses to king c4, c1, king b3, but king a1 actually draws.
That's actually a problem that's given in this course.
Yeah, exactly.
Shows it as a common mistake.
Yeah. Black to play. So rook e1 seems okay. Yeah, rook b6, e6 loses, obviously. So rook e1.
And I'm just curious, so that's the Klingon-Horowitz technique. Is that something you can put a name to that, or is it...
No, I couldn't put a name to it. What I would note is that rook f1 would have made a draw if the white rook was not on the a file. So, how can I...
Oh, you probably can't edit it there, but...
No, the point is like rook f1, king e6, king f8, and so on. Then
going to the short side.
Yeah, going rook. Then white pushes the pawn to e6, and because black cannot occupy the a file, then it's winning.
Got it.
Otherwise, it would be a draw. Okay.
Another knight versus pawn.
Wow. So this is, I think you need to go to f2 because knight g3, there's king e5, and it doesn't seem to be in time, so this is the best way to keep the king out. We start moving with the king, and I think the black king is going to be stuck in the corner.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, I like the visual effect of the barrier after knight f2, all the squares that the knight controls and can fork from.
Exactly. That's a nice position. So it's all been... Oh. Black to move, is this a draw? So we need to get the king to c4, like Fischer did in his game against whomever.
Some Soviet player.
So against Taimanov, right?
Taimanov.
Yeah. And, okay. Bishop g5. No idea why that was better. But the point is, after bishop d6, you need king c4. And then it's a draw.
Right, so stopping bishop c5.
Yeah. There was like Capablanca Janowski, I think, where black just resigned. But Fischer later showed that black could make a draw. Uh-oh. White to move. Is this a draw? No, it's not even close to a draw. Just go bishop h6, bishop g7, then... wait a second. Then bishop... Well, alternative.
Might be bishop d4.
Bishop d4. Yeah. But the point is... Why not bishop c5?
Yeah, that would win pretty directly. Bishop c3. And then probably...
Bishop b4 or... Like, I mean, there are a million ways to win.
Yeah, bishop d2.
And then bishop h6, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So short diagonal for the bishop.
Yeah, short diagonal, long solutions. So, this one is, yeah, bishop c4. Bishop c4 loses. The thing is, usually when, yeah, bishop d7 is an easy draw. Just wait. But with bishop c4, so usually black king will be like on e7, then you give a check, force the king one way, and you go with the king the other way. But yes, exactly here, bishop g5. As the king has already been forced to f7, you can go bishop g5 and then...
Controlling the f6 square so the king can come around.
Yeah, exactly. And whenever bishop attacks f5, then you give a check on e6. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay, I have to Okay, yeah, pawns move this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is an easy draw. You just control the diagonal.
Yes, another one. Bishop G3 or F4.
F4 maybe. Nope. Bishop
We're playing
G3. We're going to H2.
There you were. Yep.
Yeah, I had the feeling the first time. And bishop to B8.
Right.
That's nice and safe.
Stop King A7.
Yep. Yeah, it's a well-known principle of the one diagonal in these opposite color bishops ending. Like if the bishop can do all its job on one diagonal, then it's usually an easy win. Or draw.
Easy
whatever,
draw. Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Black to move. I think this one is an easy win as the pawns are too far apart and they cannot be stopped on one diagonal. So
Black not suffering from the wrong bishop.
Yeah. It's just an automatic win. I mean, you force the like at some point you put the pawns on G5 and A5. Let's say White's king on E4 and bishop on D1, and you've already forced White to make a choice by Zugzwang. One of the pawns advance, and then wherever the White king goes, the Black king goes the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this one, just bring the king to the right side, and the pawn will not be in time.
Chase down the pawn.
Exactly.
So perfect score so far.
Yeah, it's going well.
The only thing that's defeated you is the alternative moves so far.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is a standard pitfall. I've seen even very strong players go wrong here, especially in Blitz. So the point is A2, Rook B8, King A3, then King C2, and you'll have to under-promote to a knight, and that knight will be caught. So what you do is King B2, and then King C1.
Right, which a lot of people find counterintuitive.
Yeah, it is. I think this is, you just have to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Then you go to the corner again, not to A3.
Not having to do any knight promotions.
Yeah, I mean, it's by process of elimination. It's easy to find, but otherwise, check. If you know this, you'll never forget it.
Exactly.
White to move. Can he win? Yes. You just go A7 and win the rook.
King in no man's land.
Yeah. White to move. Is it worth playing on?
It's a rather leading question, I would say.
Okay, again, I have to... White pawn is on C2. And black pawn is on... okay, so I'm just confused by where the pieces actually are. Yeah, this is a funny one. Like, wow.
Yep. Pawn 2 squares away from promotion, but...
Yeah, it's I had one against Ryazantsev once in Blitz. Like, I was queening my my pawn. I think I queened it on G1, and he was pushing his E pawn, and I thought I'd misplaced my king. Like, I'd gone with the king to F3. And he had his king on F7 and the pawn on E7. And for a moment I panicked, like there is no check on F2, and I was running out of time, and then I saw Queen A7. So.
Nice. Yeah. Good save.
Yeah. So that's one of the two techniques, either when the pawn is not on A7 or C7.
Right.
Either pin the pawn or give a bunch of checks till the king has to step in front of the pawn.
Right.
Okay, White to move.
Okay, and I have to say on this is one that tripped up your father for a little bit.
Oh yeah?
Yes, Henrik had a hard time with this.
Yeah, I would say this one is pretty easy. You go King C6, and then you take the opposition, push the pawn, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's an unusual exercise, but
almost process of elimination style. You can find it as well.
It reminds me of that exercise where you have to put 3 white pawns and black to move with king and no pawns, and it's just still a draw. Yeah. White to move, so d4 would be decisive, so you have to go d4 and then take the opposition.
So this one, I'm kind of curious if we go back to the first position. And obviously, white should play d4, but if they blunder with a king move and black is allowed to play d4, do you think in terms of key squares? Or is that a concept that, again, is maybe couldn't put a name to it?
No, I couldn't put a name to it. I just know that whenever the king reaches the third rank, the opposition doesn't matter. If the pawn is still away. So I don't know. For me, no. I mean, I don't think of key moves. I just think of resigns.
Yeah, exactly. Because De La Villa is quite explicit in this and showing, okay, the key squares for the black king are c3, d3, e3.
Yeah.
If black can get it there with the pawn on the 4th rank, they win.
Yeah, again, I'm not the best person to teach because I would just say, it's
a good model though. You can become world champion and not necessarily have to name these techniques.
Sure. I remember, starting out, I found it a bit counterintuitive that white gets the opposition, but you still win.
Right.
But yeah, I guess having access to all the 3 key squares is the key.
Right. Okay, 10 problems to go.
Yeah. White to move. Can he draw? Yeah, I actually can. Yeah, that took me more time than it should have, but
I was thinking you were pondering the orientation again.
Yeah, no. So what I was thinking was knight f4, king d2, but yeah, it took me a little while to say knight e6. Yeah. Okay.
And nice fork idea. Black promotes.
Yeah. Yeah, knight f4, king d2, knight e6. That is nice. Moving further away, but getting that fork. White to move. Can he win?
White's pawns.
White's pawn is moving this way. So you just go and outflank, and that's going to be it.
That's another one I think amateur players find counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I've given this to students in the past, and it kind of blows their mind that the king should go diagonal and around the pawn. They always want to go directly up, bring the king to f4.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's just you quickly eliminate the other possibilities, so then it has to be then it has to be the way around.
Right.
But yeah, it's a good lesson. What is the correct result? Yeah, so here the thing is, I think you have to avoid a few key squares as black. So I think the way to go is king to f1 and king to g1. And if you find the right squares, then you should just never go to g2. Whenever you go to g2, I think it's.
I see that in that variation.
It's lost. Yeah, exactly. Never go to g2 because then the white. Yeah, once the white queen gets to e2, then it's lost. So always keep the king away from g2, and then it's draw. Yeah, this one is tricky.
Never allow that white king to come in.
Yeah.
With the black king corner.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the key position.
Right.
It's one of my favorite chess positions.
Just the domination aspect of it.
Yeah. White to move. Can he win? So I would guess it's a fairly easy win. Just cut off the king. Exactly, cutting off the other way is just a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Black's king is active enough in that case.
Yeah, this is another one that it's easy to go wrong, especially in blitz, because intuitively you kind of want to cut the king off the other way, but this one is way more effective.
Right.
White to move. What is the correct result? The correct result is a draw, because white goes king to e1 and black cannot take the opposition.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep, straightforward.
Yeah. White to move. Can he win? So what I suspect is that h5 wins and the rest draw. Because you need to... I mean, I also have to say that I don't know. But there's like a point system where you get points for the pawn that is not passed being as far back as possible and the other pawn being as far advanced as possible. And so you get the plus and minus system, and if you're in the plus, then you win. If it's equal, or in the minus, it's a draw.
Oh, I've never heard of that method.
No, I mean, but it's like the Bears rule. I think.
Okay,
yeah.
Yes. I believe De La Via mentions that at some point.
Yeah, Bears rule, but I mean, it's very easy to calculate these things, but yeah, I don't really know the rule. But exactly, I mean, the principle is keep the pass pawn as far back as possible and advance the other pawn, and as he says, h5. It's
right, because when white scoops it, black will get back in time.
Suppose you've already spent 30 of your 50 moves. It should be plenty of time. 97, bishop d3, building a barrier, bishop to e4. Okay, I guess
it's another preference.
He wants bishop b5 instead.
Yep.
King d6.
And that's the move I wanted to play too, but he wants knight f6.
Yeah, okay.
Different setup.
Yeah, so what I would usually do from the start is I would go bishop e4, then king d8, king d6, king e8, bishop g6, and then revert to the W shape.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. He wants knight f6. He's gonna get his knight f6.
There we go. De La Via approved.
Yeah. Okay. White to move. Can he draw? Oh, so this is another one of these exercises, right? Is this the one where you have to... I'm just trying to see if there's any... Wow, that was incorrect. You need to... King d5 and king e6. Exactly, I thought it was...
So black gets the setup you were kind of talking about earlier if you play king e8.
Yeah, but it's that was unusual in the sense that the king is on the other side,
right?
On a different side.
Maybe you can just click through that variation.
Yeah, that's nice. So this king d5 and it's an easy
domination in the center of the board.
Yeah. Here, I mean, I would go king e5 probably, but so king f6, queen h6, king e7. You can get the check on e5, but then king f8, then white is in time. Nice.
Yeah, black's probably one square away.
Ah, so now he wants me to do it again?
Right, part of Chessable's module here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we got you on one problem.
Yeah, you did. Let's hope I don't get that one in the game. Okay. The pawn is moving toward this side. So here it's again outflanking, or no, this is called shouldering away. That's the thing. And now the white king cannot get close enough.
And that move kind of reminds me of king c1 with the position with the a pawn.
Yeah, exactly.
continuing to shoulder.
Yeah. Nice. Again, once you know, it's pretty easy, but it's kind of counterintuitive.
So this is a bit of a weirdly phrased problem here.
Yeah. Once I just
an orientation.
The orientation is the difficult. So the king is on c1, pawns on f6. This pawn's on
d5.
d5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just have to. Pawns on d5. The other pawn's on f6. And the black pawn's on. Okay, now I have the position in my head.
Getting some world champion visualization here, guys.
So, yeah, queen c5 takes, king d2, king d6, king e3, king e5, king d2. You cannot get the opposition, so no, you cannot trade queens. No.
Okay.
So
I would say you solved that one correctly.
Yeah. This is just so hard for me to visualize from the black side here.
Yep. And that's always an important decision, right? Whether to trade into a pawn endgame. I think amateurs often make those decisions kind of lightly.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I would never trade queens there because if you keep the queens, it's such an easy win.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So that was the basic test in 100 endgames you must know. By the way, the basic test, I think it's actually fairly challenging for the vast majority of players.
Yeah, I thought a lot of them were not that easy, and most of all, a lot of them were quite unfamiliar to me.
Yeah,
so
because De La Via says that these are positions he believes a first category player should know all of them.
Yeah,
which I think is a bit ambitious, but certainly highly useful. All of them.
Definitely. Again, a lot of them were new to me, but it's knowing this stuff will certainly save you a bunch of half points in terms of winning or saving a draw.
Yeah. Well, that was great. Thank you so much for explaining your thought process. And just a couple endgame follow-up questions, because I think our viewers would be very interested to know. So without giving too much away, what does your endgame work look like these days? Are you actively drilling theoretical positions, or is most of your endgame work on more higher level stuff?
So yeah, in recent years, I've certainly done some work on theoretical endings, just repeating and trying to get more confidence there. But then again, normally playing endgames, it's more about positional understanding, and besides, the endgames I get are often better because I play better in the middle game than they have.
But you're obviously known as a fantastic endgame player, and
so what I would say is that I was known as a very good endgame player, but meanwhile my theoretical endings were actually not that great. But now I think that part is catching up a bit. Like I'm getting more confident there as well.
That's a follow-up question I had. So I read a book some years ago, and it was a collection of your games. And the author, I can't remember the name of the book, but the author speculated that in the mid-2000s or so, you perhaps spent more time working on your endgame than you had previously. And I was wondering if there was any pivotal moment or game or just realization that you had that encouraged you to do that?
I would say in the early 2000s, I worked quite a bit on my endgame. But mid to late 2000s, no, I wouldn't say so at all. I just got a lot of experience playing the best players in the world, and I went from losing endgames to losing equal endgames to winning them because I gained more experience.
Okay.
I understood the game better. So I wouldn't say there was concerted effort there. I mean, I definitely made an effort in the early 2000s, but not later.
Got it. Because one game I actually go over in our 100 Endgames boot camp and also in the course is a rook ending you lost to Aronian at the Tom Memorial 2006. Not to bring up bad memories.
Yeah, sure. That was a real lapse in concentration at that point. But obviously, if I had been more confident in my endings, then I wouldn't have botched it. So I think that was a case of me playing endgames better in general, but still not being confident about the theoretical ending.
And those games hurt, as every chess player can attest to.
Yeah, for sure. You never feel more stupid than that.
Right.
That. Like, I remember that game, like playing good defense for so long and then falling at the last hurdle.
Yep, exactly. Well, you've certainly played many games since then to make up for it, and we wish you the best of luck in this tournament with 3 rounds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually even become a pretty decent defender of rook endings to my surprise. So
any games stand out in your head to that degree that you
no,
played
but
recently?
people can check out that I've held a bunch of them recently. So I'm happy about that.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again, Magnus, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Sure.
And best of luck in Tata Steel the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you.